Hey everybody, it is November 21st, 2008. I am Sonic Suns. And there's a great comic strip you may have heard of called Calvin and Hobbes, which sadly ended some number of years ago. It's not within my rights to put up anything from the strip, but there's something I'd like to at least paraphrase. I think that's within fair use, isn't it? Where Calvin is asking Susie what it's like being a girl. And he says, what's it like? Is it like being a bug? I have this conception that, both bugs and girls have a dim idea that nature has played a trick on them, but they lack the knowledge to fully comprehend the full magnitude of it. And of course, Calvin gets a well-deserved beating for this. There's an awful lot of sexism in there. But there's something interesting in that, not in the obvious, being an idiot on Calvin's part, but the idea of being ignorant and having only a vague idea of your ignorance, which in this case we described to Calvin himself. But aside from the issues in the comic strip itself, I'm talking about, the idea that everybody, all us human beings, have a dim perception of stuff. It's kind of hard to even define exactly what you have a dim perception of when you have a dim perception of it in the first place, right? I mean, this is a logical conclusion from the basic idea that, well, everyone's, flawed, imperfect, and such. So naturally there's things we don't know about, there's things we don't even know we don't know about, things we don't even... Yeah, I know. It's just weird, though, sometimes to consider that idea. A few hours ago, I was feeling myself just a little frazzed. Is that a word? I was like, and I was like checking some emails on this one account and like on a different email account at the same time, and someone was like chatting with me, and I'm like looking at like my resume, because theoretically I need to get a job this next summer. And like I got a couple things on my mind of like, school type stuff I need to do, etc., etc. And I can feel myself losing sort of grip, not like going crazy or anything, just a little bit of like, wait, okay, I have several things to freaking think of, put it all together now. Just a little bit. Which maybe I should use some sort of system for that. There's GTD, have you heard of that? Getting things done, where you put your things in this list and it'll... Yeah, maybe I could do that. I don't know. But I was thinking just a few minutes ago, when I decided to make this video, that although, the obvious things, homework such, whatever, I managed to organize well enough in my head, when I'm going to do what, and I'll just make up some certain things as I go along, I'm sure. I have a knack for that. But there are other areas, where we're have a bug-like perspective more so. I'm talking about, I don't know, where I'm going in the long term. I've said before, I have general faith in my ability to do something cool with the creative stuff I've got going. When am I, making the stuff at what time, and when is things going to be done, and there's a whole flow like a river problem in my brain, which you see the video entitled that. Take off the words in my brain, though. That how I approach getting stuff done, I guess. There are times when, I achieve some bit of insight about, well, oftentimes myself, I suppose. I'm introspective that way. And then I worry that I lose it. Like I don't exactly forget when something is, or a particular bit of wisdom or whatever you may stumble upon. You don't exactly forget it, but you basically forget it in such a way that I don't know, someone with arachnophobia, I always use this example, might look at a picture, a photograph of a spider. He knows that the photograph is not going to harm him. There's no possible way it's going to hurt him, right? But he kind of believes otherwise. If he's an arachnophobe, he looks at that picture, he freaks out. Well, this isn't specifically related to fear, but it's... I think there are certain things that you can, on a higher level, you can sort of know, or you have glimpses, where you have your buggish, perception on things, and you go, you know what? Maybe I ought to quit some job, perhaps. That's not good for you. Or talk to people more often. This video I did called Spiritual Malnutrition. And it's, more than once I've thought to myself, you know what? Haven't I thought to myself previously that I should talk to people a little more often than and I worked on that, but there's so much of just getting it and then sort of forgetting the thing. Some insights I have about how I might do the creative stuff better, about having faith, and then I don't technically forget that sort of thing, but maybe like the arachnophobe, I sort of start behaving as though said insight it doesn't apply somehow. As though my knowledge of this being a photograph of a spider I don't actually have that knowledge. Let's just pretend it's a real spider here. Let's just pretend we'll act accordingly. We'll pretend I don't know the things I know. Ish. I like the word ish. It's a universal, I'm not even sure I'm talking about sort of word. And you sort of fall back into habits and patterns and things. I'm not saying that everything is pointless, whatever. We do change our ways with time and such. And habits may have some value to them. Certainly the habit of eating has kept me up well enough. Dang it. Sometimes this niggling little feeling in the back of my brain saying, there's more to this than you explicitly acknowledge in your everyday life. Even if sometimes you sort of glimpse the idea. And then in general, you're having a buggish perspective. With a very dim sense of all sorts of possibilities. And we're working on it. At least I'm trying to. Trying to have a little bit more wisdom and faith, etc., etc., etc. Thanks for watching. See you later.